Hello, and welcome to Year of the Machine. This week we watched
Evolver.
Evolver. Yes, that's what it was.
I don't think we have much to really say to lead in, so let's just get to the plot. The plot is a kid, Kyle, is apparently really good at this freaking laser tag VR game. So much so that he got entered into a contest that I thought was like an actual tournament, but I guess it was just like a raffle or something where they check their scores.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure he hacked it though.
Whatever.
So
Either way,
he won a robot.
he won.
Called Evolver.
He got to test what was supposed to be like a live, like evolving laser tag robot. And it turns out the laser tag robot was actually designed with military programming, and it starts killing people.
Oops.
You know, for
That's literally the whole plot.
for a robot called Evolver, and it actually unfolding slightly a couple times, it didn't actually change
much.
very much. No. It was like a 2.5 foot tall robot most of the movie, and I don't know. I really didn't find it that threatening.
No, like there's nothing threatening about a 2-foot robot, and it's like 8 tiny little, like fucking 2-inch wheels.
Yeah, it had like four of those like square like little wheel cart things that kids used to use in gym class at school for its like goddamn feet.
I thought it looked similar to the Mars Explorer, but it definitely wasn't like as adaptable.
It was like 4 RC cars without the chassis. I don't know. They didn't give us many shots of the wheels other than quick shots of when it wasn't moving. It didn't move fully in the picture very much.
No, at least not until the end, and by that point all the lights were off, so
yeah. Anyway, acting. I did not recognize a single goddamn actor until I actually looked at the cast and found out that Revolver was voiced by William H. Macy.
Which just
I couldn't
hilarious.
tell it. I couldn't tell it was him, regardless.
they
even
put
after knowing.
They put a robot filter over it, so it's not supposed to sound human.
So I technically recognized him, but not really, and I have no idea who any of the other actors are. They didn't do, I guess, the worst. It wasn't like Death Machine levels of bad. That was horrible.
I'd say it was about average. There was nothing that necessarily stuck out. We never found out if his friend survived.
Oh yeah, his friend that got crushed by the car. Though they said he's probably gonna pull through.
Yeah.
So.
Kill not confirmed.
Yeah, apparently most of the kills weren't freaking confirmed. This military robot is not good at doing what military robots do.
Yeah, and nothing against the
William H. Macy?
Yes, but his voice is not threatening.
I prefer him in Mystery Men, where he just hit people with a shovel.
God, I love that movie, and he was awesome on that.
Anyway, sound and music. There was a lot of robot sounds, and the music was more just...
It's like generic.
Background. It was just generic,
90s
like
rock?
90s rock. As he mentioned, the most recognizable thing, I guess, was William H. Macy's like sound, the sound effect they put over his voice, the weird like mechanically echo. Oh, when it's stupid left arm gun fired, it sounded just like the silenced PP7 from GoldenEye.
Yeah, like every time
that was kind of distracting.
Regardless of what it's shooting, from like Nerf darts to the
ball bearings to actual knives, which you remember I actually made a joke about that when they were watching the movie earlier. I'm like, is he just gonna stuff a knife in the barrel and shoot it? He actually did.
Okay,
It's not supposed to work that way.
Anyways, where were we
it's designed to shoot little balls. I get the ball bearings, but how does it shoot kitchen knives? Actually, I think they were like steak knives, but still, how does it shoot those? How did it absorb gasoline and turn it into a fucking flamethrower?
I don't
How
know.
does the robot have electric powers? How did it drain power from the entire city at the end of the movie?
That was...
I don't understand how this robot works.
Like I said, the size of the robot, which is basically just like a toaster with wheels, there's no way it'd be able to collect that amount of energy without like exploding or something.
This was like a toy and game company. How did they not realize it could do any of this while building the fucking thing?
Because I guess one guy worked on it, apparently.
No, one guy programmed it. He brought in the programming from a previous military project. Like, you just let him use this?
I'm surprised nobody questioned this.
Sorry. Anyway,
Cinematography?
cinematography. It's pretty standard for a horror movie.
It's a mixture of a lot of still shots. So,
but like I mentioned, they
but...
don't have the robot fully in the picture when it's actually moving and doing stuff. Probably because I don't think it was an actual like animatronic or whatever. It was probably.
You don't think it was like.
I think it was
functional RC.
No, I think it was really simple. I think the wheels might have been functional RC, but I don't think anything else really was. That's why they kept zooming in on things so you couldn't see people actually moving the damn parts manually.
Yeah, the only thing I found mildly interesting as far as camera shots goes,
if they were moving like on their own, it didn't look good. Like there was a reason they kept focusing in on specific parts of the robot.
Yeah, they
were hiding something.
Yeah, but the only thing I found really interesting as far as like camera shots goes when it was looking through the view of the robot.
I thought its UI changed at the very end when it was on level 4, so that was kind of interesting.
It's nothing really special, but you can tell it's just like it's RoboView.
Yeah.
That's really it.
I at least appreciated that.
So you can at least tell where the robot's looking when it's going from its view.
Yeah, even though its targeting system was kind of shitty since it was constantly missing its shots.
Oh my god, it is crazy how much that thing missed.
It was like 3 feet from the main kid Kyle, and it still missed shooting him with that knife.
And then they said it was supposed to get like exponentially more difficult as each level goes, and there's only 4 friggin' levels.
Well, when it gains lightning powers and the ability to shut down the power for an entire city, I'd say that's exponentially more difficult, since I don't see how it could possibly do that.
Yeah.
It turned its freaking ball shooting gun into a flamethrower. There was no open flame for it to actually ignite the gasoline that it somehow managed to suck from the car.
Not even sparks.
How
did it do it?
Oh my god. So, that brings us to the last part.
Special effects?
They were serviceable, I guess. It's a horror movie from the 90s that I've never actually heard of until searching for movies about robots.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the only reason I knew about this was because it came up in a Google search, and I was like, alright, that sounds okay, I guess. Oh! The game, though. Oh my god, the VR game looked fucking horrible.
Did they not know what games looked like in the 90s?
Look, I'll admit that games when we were small didn't look amazing, but they looked a hell of a lot better than that. My god, that game... The earliest level when Kyle was actually playing it, there were no textures. It was Bubsy 3D levels of shit.
Yeah, supposedly it's supposed to be just a mirror room or something. But that made
Why was he shooting directly at the mirror and it actually not bouncing off it right away then? You notice it only happened the second time he did it, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was just a mistake. I'm like, oh, maybe it's not mirrors. Then it bounced off. It's like, okay, maybe it is mirrors.
I don't know, but I don't know. I don't know how comical this movie was supposed to be.
I'm sure it was actually supposed to make sense, but as the robot got further through its 4 levels, it started to make less and less sense. Oh, what about when it was trying to kill Alex, I think? That was the friend who got crushed by a car. It just spun around and threw that fucking saw blade.
Where it just spun really fast and just let go of it.
Dude, he was just standing there watching it. Why didn't he get behind that scrapped car sooner? Oh, and the lasers at the end. The freaking laser tag lasers. How did it empower one of them to shoot actual death lasers?
Through a kaleidoscope.
Well, no, because Kyle used it regularly without the kaleidoscope at the end and blew the fucking thing up.
Yeah, but I'm still thinking of that scene, though. Like, it created, like... It trapped the main character's mom
and sister.
It
was... That house should have been up in flames.
And that room was on fire for, like, 10 minutes.
They just beat the fire out with pillows, I guess. Let's be real. That fire was too big and should have spread too much for pillows to be able to do anything.
And need to remind you, this was created by a toy gun that shoots lasers, shot into a kaleidoscope to separate it into like 5 separate beams.
Well, it looked like it was it had like a wire plugged into the gun too. It was. I don't think the people that made this movie know how technology works. I barely know how technology works, and I know it doesn't work like this.
It was not good.